Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you've been here before, if you're new here, this may not be the video you want to watch because I'm going to talk about grief and it may be triggering to some people. So, and even if you have been here before, I want to let you know this may be a tough topic. You've seen the title. We're going to put on Tillamook because this was gifted to me by a friend and is very near and dear to my heart. And so this to me is like eating mashed potatoes or a bag of chips. Like, this is my comfort lip balm. And so I'm using this today intentionally. And something happened today. Two things happened today. I do not believe in coincidences, and I know I didn't do the intro. And I just wanted to come on and just talk about it because all right, let me get into it. So I'm going to do a base face, and while I'm just putting stuff on, just the regular stuff, I am going to tell you the situations. I'm smiling, but I'm not. I have mixed feelings right now. Like, on one hand, I'm just like, wow, in a good way. And on the other hand, I'm like, wow, like, not in a good way. So I'm just really, my emotions are as juxtaposed as the situations that I'm going to tell you about. And so I will say it's bittersweet, as certain things are. So let me just get to it. A dear friend, had messaged me that they were sending me something. They asked if I read books. I'm like, not as much as I used to or I should, but yeah, I do. And they said they saw something and they immediately thought of me and they wanted to get it for me, but they wanted to make sure that I do actually like books, which was very valid. And so the book came in the mail today. We were texting earlier during one of my wake ups, because when I sleep, I wake up every 90 minutes or so. And they were like, oh, it's tracking says it should be there, you know, by 10 o'clock tonight. Today is June 6th. And is it the 6th? I believe it's June 6th. If it's not June 6th, I will put it over here. And I thought, you know, they sent it from their house, but it was from Amazon and it was actually outside my door. And I'm like, oh, wow. And so I opened it and I'm going to show you the book. This is how you give gifts to people. And this is how I give gifts, with the exception of makeup and skincare. When I'm like, hey, you want to try this? When it's something that I know that I can't use or something that my skin doesn't like. When I see something, or and not even when I'm looking for gifts, if I'm just out and about and I see something and it makes me think of someone, I get it for them, because it's like, this is theirs. Like, I see this, I see them, and they're always like, oh my gosh, like, this is perfect. So that's how you give a gift, not what you want somebody to have because you love it or like it, but when you see something and it whispers someone's name, that's for them. That's for them. And so I'm going to show you this book. And so I was, my eyes welled up a little bit, and I went to text a thank you, and I did text a thank you, and I was just like, this is friggin' perfect. And I did do a community tab post today. So this is the book. It's called Stepping Out. And right here it says, The Unapologetic Style of African Americans Over 50. I'm over 50. And the author and photographs. And I did put a picture on the back on my community tab because I wanted y'all to read this. An unapologetically bold, stimulating, and inspired collection of photographs and profiles celebrating the style of African Americans over 50. And this right here, I'm not going to read all of it. Long inspired by mature adults daring to express their creativity and individuality through their style choices. New York Times bestseller. Novelist Connie Briscoe shines a light on these often overlooked and underappreciated, sharply attired individuals. So I'm like, this is the Crazy Troll Nation. Just being unapologetic in what your style is, regardless of what social media or whatever says. And so I'm just going to see if I can flip and not glare, because I did flip through it, and that's when I started tearing up. Like, oh my gosh, I should probably tilt my camera down. So it's just, you know, it talks about, you know, the person also and what you see, and it tells you who they are. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, this is just friggin' awesome. And so I was, you know, holding back like happy tears. And these are people over 50, y'all. And it's just, they're just doing their thing. And so I was just like, what? I was like, oh my gosh. And so I am actually going to go through and like read everything. But I was just like, this is friggin' perfect. And so after I sent the text thanking friend for sending me this, a different friend than the one that sent the Tillamook, I saw I had another text. And the text was from my brother, from another mother and another father. We adopted each other, you know, in high school back in like 1985 maybe. And the text was, Mom had not been responding to his phone calls and messages. Why did I get dark all of a sudden? What? Sometimes that happens if there's a shadow, and then when I lower it, it doesn't get light again. I'm going to put this on top. And so he went to do a welfare check, and she was gone. Like, she was laying there and she was gone. And I was just like, oh my God. And so that didn't help because I look dusty. Like, the air looks kind of murky, which probably fits how I feel. But I was just like, oh. And he said, you know, she, you know, passed alone. And so he said they ended up saying, you know, she passed over the weekend. Today is Thursday. And so I'm just like, damn. And so I started crying because, of course, you know, I miss her. And, you know, he always kept me updated on how she was doing. But my heart was breaking because I was also imagining how he felt. You know what I mean? You're calling to check up on your mom, and he doesn't live near her. So it's not, you know, he can be there in like 30 minutes or even an hour. You know what I mean? And plus his work schedule and everything. But they were like really, really close. Always. They were always like super close. And she kind of unofficially adopted me too. But so I was just like, damn. And so I text them back. The service is the 13th. You'll see this before then. And also the 13th is another academy starts, and I'm on faculty for academy, and you've heard me speak about academy before. I've done makeup videos while I was at academy. And so those of you who have been here, like, you're familiar with, you know, me being on faculty with academy. And our check-in is the 13th. And so I asked them what time the service was, and I contacted, you know, who I felt I needed to contact in a group text of other faculty members, and told them, you know, I will still be there, but I'll be late because I don't know what time we're supposed to check in at the hotel for academy. I said I will be there. The service is in Camden, New Jersey, and which is like 2 hours away from where academy is. But I said I will be there, me and my Mountain Dew, and then I'll keep them updated on my travel timeline. And so of course they were like, you know, we're really sorry, accept condolences. And one reached out to me independent of the group text, which was really cool. Well, it's cool that the other, because I only sent it to 3 people. But they were like, condolences, you know, virtual hugs. You know, we'll see you when you get here. Just be safe. You know, you'll handle your business, take care of your family, take care of your brother. And so I really appreciate that. And so, and another thing, you know, me speaking of not, my eyes are tearing and I'm trying for them not to. Another thing, I know I've talked about my cousin before that sends me music videos, YouTube music videos. Well, he has sent me two, oh my gosh. He sent me, it was just one. It was the second one since then. Excuse me if you heard that in my throat. I did not mean to grab this brush, but this is the one we got. This is a Scott Barnes number 65. They don't make these anymore. And so I'm like, let me listen to the song, because it's just the link, you know, in a text message. So I don't know what the song is, right? And so, you know, I thanked friend for the book, told her how it was just perfect. And then I, you know, saw the text from my brother, text him back, and I'm like crying and sobbing. And I text friend back that sent the book, and I'm like, thank you. I'm like, I do not believe in coincidence. Like, this was perfect. Like, this is bringing light to this day. And every time I think of that book, or look at the book, I should say, I'm also going to remember this is the day that, you know, bruh said that mom passed. And every time I think about bruh and that his mom passed, I'm going to remember this book. And so it's going to be like, it brings some lightness to the darkness of this day. And that's what I'm saying about gifts. Like, if you see something and you think of someone, like, you really don't know what that is going to mean to that person at that time. You know what I'm saying? And it just, the timing was just perfect. And so I said, let me listen to, like, to myself, let me listen to this, you know, click this video link and listen to this song that my cousin sent. Because I always do listen to all the songs, and I put them in a folder. I have a private folder in my YouTube, a private playlist with all the songs that he sends me. So at any time I can just go and just play it and listen to the music that he has sent to me. And the song was Happy Feelings. And I'm like, so I was, you know, crying happy tears about the book, and then sad tears about, you know, mom passing, and then listening to this song, Happy Feelings. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, this. And so I took that to be, everything is going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? And so I was just like, this is just, I don't want to say too much, because it doesn't feel like too much, but it was just like, and I don't believe in coincidences, so I don't want to be like, you know, the randomness of it all, but it's just like, what are the odds? You know, I received this perfect gift, which really is, you know, talking about being your authentic self and expressing your creativity, and you're over 50, and you saw some of the pictures. People over 50, they don't be doing stuff like that. And so, you know, seeing that, you know, loving yourself, being your authentic self, regardless of your age, regardless of what you like. My nose is looking toasty. And then to find out, you know, mom passed, and then here's the song Happy Feelings, which rolls back around to the joy of the book. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like a good thing, a not so good thing, and then a good thing. So the not so good thing is sandwiched in the middle. And I was just like, how can I express this? You know, because I just really wanted to just share the importance of when something, you don't know what someone's going through at any given time. Like, you just don't. And even if they tell you, you don't feel what they feel. And let me take that back. It depends, because sometimes, depending on how close you are to someone, you may actually feel what they feel. You know what I'm saying? There's times when I feel someone's feelings, and I might not even know what it is. I'll wake up and just be like, I don't feel right. Like, I don't understand, like, you know, what's happening. And then later in the day, you know, I get a message, and I'm like, oh, now it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, wow. And so if you're a sensitive person in that type of way, then you understand what I'm saying. And it kind of freaks my therapist out a little bit. I asked him a question about something one day, and he looked at me, he went, why are you asking me that? And I'm like, oh, such and such. And he said, don't bring them heebie-jeebies over here today. And I was like, it's just a question, dude. But he... And so I explained to him why I asked the question, because it really wasn't like a feeling or anything. It was just like a legit question, because something else had happened that day, and it made me think of him and his wife. But he was just looking at me like, he said, don't bring that over here. And he was just like, don't bring that. I was cracking. I'm like, no, like... So even though when I explained to him, like, why I asked, or what made me think to ask, he was just like... Oh, goodness. And so since then, like, if I have a question, I'm like, I'm asking a question. There is no motive. I don't feel anything. It's just a question. And he'll be just like, okay, what's the question? But if you are sensitive in that type of way, sometimes you can pick up on stuff, and you might pick up something and you don't know where it's from or who it has to do with until somebody tells you something. This eye is tearing. And so, you know, pay attention to those feelings. And I'm not saying, you know, you know, whatever. But yeah, so when you think of someone, you see something and you think of someone, that's the gift to give to them. And sometimes there might feel like on your part an urgency, like I need to send this like right now. I don't know, you know, what the feelings were, but it just came on the perfect day, and I didn't even know they had sent it. When they said, you know, I saw this and I'm thinking about it for you, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't know it was coming today. You know what I mean? And how the postal service works, even though it came from Amazon, like who knows when it's really going to arrive. Amazon is really good about, though, tracking updates, but I didn't have the tracking number, so I didn't know. So when they said it was coming today by 10 o'clock tonight, I'm like, okay, cool. And so I looked outside my door, because I was ready to go to my mailbox, because I didn't know it was coming from Amazon. And it was sitting outside my door, and I opened it, and I was like, oh my gosh. And I flipped through it, and I was like, what? And then the text from my cousin. So I am really sad. I've cried 3 different times already, because when I would think about my brother, his feelings, I'm just like, damn. Because it's a certain feeling you get when it's like, damn, like they died alone. You know what I mean? And she was on the floor, which means she fell. And they did say that she had fallen. So then you think about, you know, were they in pain? Like, were they, you know, calling out for help? Or, you know what I mean? So, like, all those feelings. And I've been in other situations where people I know, where they went to get a family member and they were gone. They were just, like, laying on the floor. And I'm just like, damn. And so I think about that, too. Like, to me, and that's what hurt most. Because Mom was elderly. You know, she was in good health for her age. But we know, you know, no one lives forever. We know that people are born to die, even if we don't want to accept that people die. But it was still just like, damn. And knowing that he had been, you know, calling and trying to reach her and couldn't. And it was like, okay, I need to go make a welfare check. Which means, you know, he broke his routine, you know, his work schedule, whatever else he had going on, to go check on her. And she was gone. And so the moral of the story is, feel your feelings. When you see something and you think of someone, I don't know why I'm surprised my eyes are tearing, like seriously. Like I'm just like, why am I? But because you never know, like what that gift will mean. And even if, you know, bro didn't find out today, this gift, this book still would have played a part in it. Because in my mind, I still would have been like, wow, I got that book yesterday or 2 days. You know what I'm saying? So it still would have been a factor in the timeline of this situation. But to get the book and be like, oh my gosh, and to read my brother's text and be like, oh my gosh, and then Happy Feelings song from my cousin, I'm just like, it's going to be okay. And I will say this, that song, when it first started to play, I'm just like, get the fuck out of here. But then I said, no, you know what? I need to hear this right now. And I listened to it, and it did help me feel better. And so I didn't say anything to cousin. I texted him, and I'm like, thank you, cousin. That's what I usually do. Thank you, cousin. Love you. Because he sends me music at least a few times a week. And sometimes it'll be like 6 songs in a row. And sometimes it'll be just one. Because that one was one from earlier this morning. I was sleeping, and the other one came after that. And so I'll usually, you know, just to let him know that I got it. But, yeah, so that is that. So just to recap, if you see something and it's whispering someone's name to you, meaning you see it and you automatically think of a person, that's the perfect gift. The perfect gift is not giving them something you want them to have because it's something that you like or because it's something you would like to see them wear, but it's something that in your heart and in your soul, you're like, that's them. Like this whatever it is encapsulates who that person is. And this is like really perfect. And even reading the back, unapologetically bold, I'm just like, aha! And reading this, I'm just like, yo, and looking at the pictures. These are people over 50, y'all, and they are rocking it. And so what, just the theme of the Crazy Troll Nation, I know I didn't do the intro, but it's just, the crazy part is just accepting yourself for who you are. Being your authentic self. And the troll part is not caring too much about the beauty community standards, and it could also go for social standards. Try not to feel like you need to do a certain thing. You'll see videos, don't do this if you're over 40. This is how to get the perfect base face if you're over 50. Don't do this, listen. Be yourself, do what you want to do, wear what you want to wear, and just friggin' rock it and know that you are amazing. That, in a nutshell, except for hiccuping and gurgling and belching, excuse me, that is the concept of the Crazy Troll Nation, because it may sound crazy. What? Accept myself for who I am? Yes. Don't care too much what other people may think? Yes. That may sound crazy. And if they want to say we're trolls because we don't look like them, do the things that they do, and fit into their little ideals of whatever beauty is, we will be a troll, damn it. And so I say troll in a good way. It's just self-acceptance of whatever you say about me, I'll be that. As Redman said, he was like, I'll be that. He has a song, look that up. They have a censored version and an uncensored version. So people are cursing him out, and he's like, I'll be that. Whatever you say, I'll be that. I will own who I am regardless of what anybody says about me. That's what I want for all of you who watch my videos. And when I stopped saying my intro, some people said they missed it because it was like their daily affirmation. Love yourself for who you are, wear what you want, and just rock it. And because I was feeling redundant saying it all the time. But people started telling me they were missing it. So now almost every video I say it again. Except like today when I jumped in, but then I ended up saying it later. So, but just own who you are. When you see something and you think of a person, that's for them. Get it for them, send it to them, take it to them, whatever, because you won't know like what it will mean. Like this for me, when I go to the service, this is going to be in my car with me when I drive to Camden. It's about 45 minutes away. Service is at 11. Y'all know I be just going to sleep at 11 in the morning. So I'm going to be up way earlier than usual. I want to get there earlier than usual because number one, I don't know what, parking is going to be like. Mom was really involved in church, so it's going to be a lot of people. And it's a black church, so it's going to be like a whole lot of stuff. And so I want to get there early and then leaving there to drive 2 hours down to Academy. But this is going to be with me. This is going to be with me in my car, in my bag. And when I'm driving, I might even have it on a passenger seat so I can look over at it, because this reminds me that someone saw me. They saw this book and they saw me. You know what I'm saying? And that's a really good thing to know that you're seen. And for someone to know you that well, that when they see something, they're like, this is hers. And so thank you again, friend, for this. I know I thank you quite a few times in text messages, but this is gonna be with me on my travels to the service. It's gonna be with me at Academy. Just don't dismiss your feelings when you think of someone. Even if I'm not a phone person, but I'll text in a minute. And people have told me, it's okay to text anytime because they know I'm nocturnal. And so I know my texts won't, wake them up or anything. Sometimes I still kind of wait until I think they're getting up for work, 5 or 6 in the morning or something. But other people, I will text at like 3 or 4 in the morning. Hey, thinking about you, love you. And that's it. And for my nocturnal chosen family members, they'll text back like, hey, I'm still up too. What you doing? I'm like, I'm watching such and such. They be like, girl, da 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 da. And then we end up having a conversation. But when you think of people, check in on them. And if you see something and somebody comes to your mind, get it for them. Mail it to them, send it to them, take it to them, whatever. Because you just never know what it's going to mean. And so this day has been, the last couple hours actually, have been very polarizing. But it's been moving so quick. The book, his text, the song, all of that was in like 30 minutes. And so I was just like, and I know it's going to be okay. Happy feelings. The book, it's going to be okay. Bro, it's going to be okay. His family's going to be okay. And it's going to be good to see him, even though the circumstances will be sad. But even when we do see each other, because we don't see each other often, it's always just like, oh my gosh, like you're here. And we're always just like so excited to see each other and catch up. So even though it's going to be a sad occasion, it's going to be good for us to lay eyes on each other. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go. My base face is done. I'm going to do a look after this, and I'll probably break down again later. I think I'm going to eat a seafood boil, which I kept saying I was going to eat days and days ago, and I never did. But I need just like some comfort stuff, even though, you know, Tillamook is comfort. This book is comfort. But I'm going to put some comfort in my belly too. So, but we're going to go. Let me know your thoughts below. If this has triggered you, and I've had this triggered memories of, you know, people who passed before that have found, you know, their family members when they went to check on them. So that was that hit me again all over. But if you're really triggered, talk to someone. Talk to someone. There's hotline numbers. You know, if there's a friend that you trust with your feelings that you can be vulnerable with, text them, call them, message, email, something. You do not have to go through this alone. And just know it's going to be okay. But don't stuff your feelings. Don't hold on to them. If you got to cry, cry. You want to punch a wall, punch a wall. If you need to overturn the table, overturn the table. If you want to just kind of block it out for a little bit and play your makeup or whatever it is you do, do that. But make sure you take care of yourself. You know, sit with your feelings, acknowledge them. They are valid. And just let them come. Let them come. And whatever you need to do to get it out, get it out. But do definitely, you know, talk to someone, reach out to someone. And if you feel like there is really no one, call one of those hotline numbers and talk to someone. You know what I'm saying? And so just be encouraged. Happy feelings. I'm going to link that song down below. Because at first I'm like, what the fuck? But then I'm like, no. Because how I said I don't believe in coincidences, I'm like, I needed to hear this right now. And it did really help me. So I'm going to put that down below. So we're going to end on that note. Happy feelings. And as always, self-acceptance, self-love. That is the Crazy Troll Nation way. If this resonated with you in any type of way and you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. This is not my usual topic. I do makeup mostly and some skincare. But, you know, feel free to subscribe, comment, share if you think this will help someone else. If it was informative as far as gift giving or how to gift give. You know, feel free to share it and, you know, join if you're inclined to do that as well. All that information is down below. And so thank you for being here and thank you for listening, and you will see me soon.